Hello and welcome to Beauty to Bank. This is the number one place on the web where beauty professionals learn how to make money without standing behind the chair. I am your host, Susan Bennett. I am the CEO of The Social Barber, and I help established beauty professionals learn how to package up their expertise into digital products so you can avoid burnout behind the chair. We have an exciting show for you, new ways to get your digital product done. I know everybody's used to doing courses, so I want to talk to you today about a new strategy that really helps you create and sell your digital products really quickly, much more effectively. We're going to get into that in just a moment. Before we get started, I do want to go ahead and introduce my guest for today. Um, Rese from Olympus Cuts. I'm going to tell you a little bit about him before I even get him on here. He probably, because he wouldn't say these things about himself. Okay. He wouldn't do that. Okay. So I get to say it for him. So this is his Instagram profile. I'm going to let him talk to you about how long he's been a barber. He's been a student of mine for a couple years now. He's done a couple different programs with me, but he's really, what he's done behind the chair is a game changer, and that's why his digital products are really game changers for the industry. So let's go ahead, let's get him in here. Let's see if I can get Reese in here. Hello, welcome.
Hey, how you doing?
I am doing well. I'm doing well. Can you introduce yourself for everybody?
All right, so like Season said, I'm Reese with Olympus Cuts. I I'm a barber full time, but now crossing over into the digital digital platform and doing a lot more of my digital side of my products. And ultimately, I'm still what people would probably consider to be a beginning barber, but I had a lot of success within really my first 2 years of beginning being a beginner barber. But I'm actually only on like year three and a half, going on four. Um, so yeah, I mean, I had a lot of success and basically sharing that success with other beauty professionals at this point.
All right. So one of the things, and that's what I really want to talk about here, is because you 14 months into your becoming a barber, you hit that eluded, highly sought after six figures.
Yep.
And so a lot of people, it takes a long time for them to get there. And so for you, we've had a lot of conversations. You used to work in corporate America, and you moved from one state to another state. And to be able to hit this success so fast, you created like systems, right?
Yep. Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
can you
So
talk about like give us a tip, like what's one of the biggest things that helped you get there?
okay, so honestly, one of the one of the things that I did, well, first and foremost, I did small things consistently. That's the most important thing that I did. So once I figured out that something worked, I constantly did that. And even if it was a little bit of progress, I continuously to do it weekly to make a large amount of progress. So like something that I did a little bit different was I always talk about business cards. I feel like a lot of times um, people preach us about going out and giving out random business cards to random people. Well, my method was a little bit more conversation based, and I also multiplied myself by doing things such as giving out my business cards to my friends instead. So
Hmm.
my friends that worked at banks, my friends that worked at stores, and a lot of times any of my colleagues or friends or family that were going to see the general public often, I didn't have them solicit my business. But if somebody did bring up needing a haircut or needing some type of service that I could provide, I use it as a way to duplicate myself. So I didn't go out and pass out, 10 business cards to just 10 random people. A lot of times when I'm actually bringing people into my shop, I had conversations. Um, I actually started to break down barriers before I got my clients into the shop and just instead of just handing them a business card. And I use my business card. Basically, it's like me creating like a small army for myself. So my friends and family kind of did the work for me in that sense when it came to passing out business cards and that was just a method I did that was a little bit different because most people just tell you to, go hit the ground running and just pass out a bunch of business cards and hopefully, one or two of those people come back. Well, to me, that was a little passive in my opinion. And I wanted fast growth. Like I moved from state to state. I mean, this was just a city I never lived in. So I needed some growth really quick because bills weren't going to stop. Car payment wasn't going to stop. So I basically needed to have that rapid growth. And also, like, I was trying to replace at minimum my corporate salary, which I ended up going
Mm-hmm.
past. So ultimately, like I said, I just did things a little bit different and what some people may consider to be unorthodox in that sense, but it worked for me. And I feel like it's working for other people as well that I've shared the knowledge with.
All right. So I love what you said about the cards, because sometimes we can feel it feels so spammy. Like the game has changed so much. So many people have been passing out cards and flyers. I mean, you cannot leave any kind of a club or a party without having a million flyers just stuck on your windshield, and it just feels like the message is the same. So you're saying that you're starting personalized conversations with people. So I love that. It feels
Exactly.
more. Nobody wants to feel like they're saying the same thing to every single person,
Exactly.
right?
And a lot
So
of
I
times
love that.
you knock down barriers that you would have in the barber chair, as soon as they get there. So let's just say if you pass out a random business card, someone randomly does show up in your barber chair. Well, you got to start to figure out who this person is while trying to figure out the service that they want. So a lot of
Hmm.
times I went ahead and knocked down that barrier before I even got them in. I find out, things like what do they do as far as like profession, just having general conversation and organic conversation. Because another thing that I also don't believe in is just servicing a lot of random people. You don't want to build a clientele full of bad apples, in my opinion. And
Right.
that's something that I got that I skipped over, versus what other people. A lot of people have to get rid of clients or figure out ways to get rid of clients.
Hmm.
It was very few people that I had to do that to because
Right.
I eliminated that process before I even started. So I knocked down barriers and got rid of bad apples before they even got into my clientele book.
Right. And another thing that there's so many people that talk about, wanting to fire customers,
Hmm.
and so if you're really intentional up front, you don't want to fire your customers, and then work doesn't become this place where you're like, can I just leave? Like, I'm so tired of this place.
Exactly.
Like, you enjoy going because you get to hang out with people that you like.
Exactly.
So one thing, I don't know when you first started working with me, we first started working together, but you were in one of my first programs that I launched, one of my first group coaching programs, F Social, right?
Hmm.
Yes,
Yep.
it is Forget Social, right? And so in that program, I was teaching people how to create and schedule their social media for the year. And I got to say, you rocked it. Like,
Yep.
how long in the program, we did like a contest. And how long did it take you to schedule your social media for the year?
It was a little while ago, so I forgot a specific time, but I remember it was a short amount of time. I'm talking about like
I
over a
think it was
week.
about 8 hours, right?
Yeah,
It
it
was
was like
something
something
around
like
that.
that, like breaking up over like literally less than a weekend, I would say, like, and not me staying up all night doing this. We're talking about me just being here and there and just, adding a few pieces of content and scheduling it out. And like you said, I did it for up to a year. So it didn't take that long at all.
Yes,
And
and so
it was more
tell
than
us.
that.
You are, oh, okay, awesome,
Yeah.
awesome. And so and it's funny because, for me, social media, that's really how I got started, just talking and teaching about social media. That's how I got this name, The Social Barber, was the book that I wrote. But for you, it really launched something, just
Mhm.
that consistency of having your social media. So can you talk about that?
As far as what it launched, as far
Well,
as
well, how it helped you build your clientele, how it helped you get to that six figures.
oh yeah, so ultimately, like doing that, it built on top of the things that I was also doing physically. Um, staying in front of my clientele because the goal was to be booked. And when I was booked on specific days, that acted as, like you always told us, like an insurance policy. So basically, I was still able to stay in front of my audience, and it helped me build up even more And especially on the days where I was just swamped in the shop. You're not thinking about social media. You're not thinking about, you're just trying to get through that day. You're trying to make sure you service your clients the best as possible. You're not thinking about adding a Instagram post or Facebook post, whatever the case may be. And so that helped me to stay in front of my audience and to continue to brand and market myself moving forward. And as well as me being able to pass along that information also to, help other people that were in the same position as me 2 years ago. So it's
All
definitely
right.
helped
Well,
me a
I
bit.
yes, well, I want to knock down some misconceptions because how many people, show of hands in here, how many people in here think you need a lot of followers? Okay, that you need a lot of followers to make money with your social media. Okay. And there's a little bit of a delay. So we're going to see their answers here in just a minute. Go ahead
Yes.
and drop a one in the comments if you think you need a lot of followers. Okay. So, can you please, let's do a drum roll here, right? A fake one. I don't know. I don't have a drum roll. We need to get some sound effects.
No, it's
We're gonna
cool.
have to raise the budget over here. We need some sound effects. But Reese, can you tell us? Oh, I see some ones popping up here. Okay, Reese, can you tell us um how many followers you had on your Instagram account when you hit six figures?
Around that time, I know I wasn't even at 1,000. I know that I forgot the exact number, but I wasn't at 1,000. And
Okay.
even now, I'm at 2,000, but that's still in social media world. That's not a lot of followers. So, I was definitely under 1,000 for sure. But going back to specifics as to how I was marketing myself, I marketed to build clientele, not to gain followers, because I wanted to make real money. Like
Right. You don't want to make Instagram money. You want to make
yeah,
real money that's in the bank. Okay.
exactly. So that was my goal. So let's just say if I had 800 followers, my goal was to be marketing to those 800 people as
Right.
clients. Obviously, some of them are barbers. Obviously, some of them are hairstylists by nature of following each other and networking. But a good bit of those were actually potential clients here within Charlotte, North Carolina, where I was marketing to them specifically and not just trying to grow a number on social media.
Right. And I wanted to point this out because that's one of the biggest misconceptions. Whenever I talk to people, I have a lot of one-on-ones, I have a lot of meetings, I have group coaching program, I have membership, I have different ways where I'm talking to people all the time. And what's happening is a lot of people, I say, well, what's your goal? And people always, it's like they're telling me the roadmap to get to their goal. And I'm like, no, 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 no. Right.
Yeah.
So the conversation will go something like, hey, what's your goal? And they'll say, well, first I'm going to build a lot of followers, then I'm going to do this. And I'm like, who said you, who said it has to go in that order? And who said you even need the followers? Because, right now, I think I've got your Instagram account over here on my other screen. You've got, yes, you have almost 2,100 followers, right?
Mhm.
And so the thing is, you could not, you could not service 2,100 clients.
No, no, not at all. But see, and another thing too is when I work with people as well, um, when they immediately go to following, first off, you gotta recognize what the goal is, and the goal we're specifically talking about is building the clientele behind the chair in the first place. So if that's the goal, the first thing I always ask them is, okay, if you get 10,000 followers, what are you doing with that? So
Right.
and the answer is not usually about helping their business. It's for something else. When the goal that we're talking about is building the clientele behind the chair. So once we identify that goal as well, that's extremely important at the very beginning. Um, but that also helps them realize that I really don't need as many people on social media as I think I do.
Hmm.
Is and I need to be intentional about marketing to these people, because people do get discouraged when they don't get a lot of views, they don't get a lot of likes, whatever the case may be. But I look at it as, okay, if I posted a video and it got 300 likes of a haircut, and I'm posting, Charlotte Barber or Olympus cuts and all those things. Well, if I'm seeing that these people saw it, I feel like there's primarily a large group of those people are clients potentially
Right.
looking for the
Hmm.
service. It may not be another barber, and the secret is another barber doesn't make me money.
Right.
So
Right.
people a lot of
Right.
times we just have the mindset incorrect when it comes to social media in general, not
Yes,
realizing,
and
the goal that we have in mind.
yes, and I see a lot of beauty professionals, and they're posting content for other beauty professionals, which is fine if
Mhm.
you're, you have a digital product or you have physical products that are for other beauty professionals. But I see people posting things and they're kind of like they're funny memes about
Yeah.
cheap clients and things like that, but you can't you don't want your customer thinking, Are they talking about me? Are they saying I'm cheap? They didn't respond to my text quick enough? Are they I saw that post on their Instagram, right?"
Yep. Exactly.
It's kind of crazy. So let's switch topics just a little bit. I see your shirt there, Olympus
Mhm.
Cuts, and I know that you have an ebook where you talk about the 5 B's of building. Can you talk about, because I know that shirt has something to do with it.
Yeah. So the first one is always about branding and marketing. So when I talked about the 5 B's of business, which we don't have to go into every single one of them, but
Right, for
I
sure.
brand and market myself everywhere I go, no matter what the event is. I mean, it could be a family event, it could be, me just going out bowling, out to eat, whatever the case may be. I'm always making sure I'm branding and marketing myself. And it's like I wear my brand and logos everywhere I go. Or something related to barbering. Like this is a small set of
Hmm.
clippers right here. So
Yep.
people, like people are attracted to like jewelry, right? So
Right.
when I'm thinking of that, I'm like, okay, if people are attracted to jewelry, then I need to wear something that shows what I do. Or if it shows what I do, it also needs to show my brand somewhere else. Like I have hats with my Instagram name on it and things of that nature. So I'm constantly staying in my audience face in every way, shape, or form. Another thing that I talk about is like booking apps. And a lot of people think that, a booking app, obviously it keeps you organized and things of that nature, but a lot of people don't utilize it to its fullest potential.
Right.
Um, because that is a major way to market yourself as well. Because my clients mention it all the time. Sometimes people are not thinking about getting a haircut, or sometimes people are, life is moving a lot and it's a lot of going on. I mean, you even told me about, kids going back to school right now. It's a lot of moving
Uh-huh.
parts in life right now.
Yep.
So I'm using my booking app to this fullest to make sure I'm still, outside of marketing to new clients, I'm marketing to my clients as well, to have them come in to book appointments when they're not, it's not necessarily on their mind when so much is moving, and in life in general. So, and then
Yep.
the business card thing, just, to hit on something. Uh, lastly, I mean, that I talked about creating a buddy system. So
Hmm.
that is one way that I created a buddy system, was through my business cards. So,
Yep.
that's just a few to hit on, and I think they're super important. I feel like I broke it down into 5 B's, which were really broad topics, but it's a lot within the information of each topic.
For sure, for sure. So, um, we've been hanging out for a couple years now.
Mhm.
You've done my F Social program, you've done my Six Figure Business System program, and we've done VIP Day. We're going to talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah.
But you've got your own programs popping. Okay, so
Yeah.
I want to go ahead. I want to share the screen here and share, I'm saying, your program, because you're helping other people do this. Because when you were starting out as a new barber, like, how did you learn this information? Like, how did you find out about this?
I figured it out. so,
Right.
um,
Okay.
so a lot of most of the stuff that I'm teaching now, are things that I had to experience on my own, or I had to obviously go pay for to obtain the knowledge as well. So it depending on what it is, I still had to figure it out in some way, shape, or form. Whether I had to find somebody that is in the form of like a mentor, or if I just had to do trial and error. Well, my goal now is to allow the beauty professionals to skip some of those steps. As far as some of the things that I know are not as effective, let's just not do that. You know what I'm saying? Let's just go ahead and do what's
Hmm.
effective to go ahead and rapidly build the business up. And that's what I'm teaching now at a really really cost effective rate in my opinion.
Yes.
So
And
um,
so how much does it cost?
so literally the first month to just get started is $7. That's it.
Okay. Listen.
That is
And
it.
so how does the program work? Like, are you like I mean, how does it work? So there's some pre-recorded modules
Mhm.
and do you guys have meetings or how does it work?
Yeah, so first off, going to what you said, the pre-recorded module. So I have a lot of pre-recorded modules in the sense of being your own graphic designer because a lot of people, a lot of barbers specifically, we used to working with our hands. We're not used to working online. So the first thing we do is we try to outsource things such as creating graphics for our business cards or creating graphics for T-shirts. Well, a lot of that stuff I did on my own. So if I did it on my own, I want to show people how to do that as well. So I have pre-recorded content of how to be your own graphic designer using the program that I use. Going back to scheduling content, I talk about. I have literally screen recordings as to how I specifically go through schedule content, as well as showing people that you don't need as much content as you actually think you need to have it for an entire year. Um, as well as like I said, we're going to do the meetings. We'll do live meetings to where we're going to discuss some of people's pain points. So one thing that I did in a recent meeting was I had a student that wasn't as confident in having conversation. So one thing that we did was we went through conversation, like how are you approaching people? Because these are things that you can't get from a pre-recording, So and going over dialogue as to what can we do to change to hook that to bring that client in, to reel them in and get them in our chair, and at least get an opportunity. As well as one thing that I mentioned to you now is we'll have some of people's favorite beauty professionals um, on literally in the free community as well. So the first part that we discussed with the pre-recordings, um, that is the paid subscription, which is that's basically extra content on top of what's already going to be there for free. But within the free community, we're going to do a lot of networking and, like I said, discussing some of the experience that some favorite barbers and beauty professionals have gone through. Some of the tips that they've used outside of some of the stuff that I'm teaching already. So we'll
Mhm.
have all that literally under one roof. Under one roof. And literally all you have to do is you can get the app or you can use it on the website. I mean, the app is extremely dope because you could just get all this information on the go. As
All
well as
right.
one more thing too for barbers,
Yep.
I have tutorials up there too. So for beginning barbers, if you feel like let's just say if you got a haircut and you just like I need a refresher on it real quick. You can literally hop on the app and just look at a quick tutorial on this specific haircut. And it's available for you any time of the day. You can just log on. It's actually you don't even have to log on once you get the app. It just pops right up. So it'll have the tutorials up there for you. And also, I mean, I want to do some stuff with beauty professionals. So maybe some simple
Mhm.
things involving certain type of cuts and styles with beauty professionals. But right now, we do have just the barber tutorials available.
Okay, let me ask you a question because I'm glad you brought up the barber tutorials.
Hmm.
When you first hit six figures, what was the quality of your haircuts?
Still barber school.
Okay,
It,
so I wanted to bring that up because I know that
mhm,
that's like a huge, misconception that people have
mhm.
is that they think that you have to, it's about the quality of the haircuts, right? Is where, and there's a lot of people who are making a lot of money and the quality of their haircuts is not that great. And you're really, so the thing is that in order for you to hit the six figures, you don't have to, you don't have to, you don't have to have the best haircuts.
You
And
don't.
that's what you're teaching in the class. So if people are sitting here and they're saying, I want to make more money, I want to do this, but I got to wait till my haircuts are better. I got to wait till I get more followers. You don't have to. You can have somebody to help you along the way. And I mean, this price, you can't afford not to. It's kind of
Yeah,
crazy. Okay. I mean, we're going to
exactly.
have to talk about these prices. Okay. We're going to have to talk about this.
but
But you
but
guys,
it
come on now. Like, let me just say this real quick, Reese, because there's a lot of people out there and they get really upset on social media because they're like, oh, you guys learned how to do this. You guys just won't help us. Whenever we ask for help, you send us the invoice. At this price right here, I mean, you're paying to help them
Yeah,
at this price. And so the thing is, like, this right here, I don't want to hear anybody else talking about the fact that they're like, oh, nobody's going to help us. Nobody's sharing the information. This dude got to six figures within his first 14 months out of barber school. Okay. And consistently has grown since that, still does not have 2,100 followers. Okay. I know it sounds
exactly.
like I'm really complimenting you. It sounds like I'm like,
No,
but
no,
it's a
that
compliment
definitely
because
is.
yeah, I want people to understand all of the things that you thought you need, you don't need. All of the things
Exactly.
that you thought, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like it's like the Matrix. All this stuff that people, and guess what, guys? Social media, I hope they don't shut this down for this. They want you to believe that you need those followers because guess what? You spend more time on social media. You spend more time on their platform so they can make more money on advertising. Everybody's over here, dancing and doing all this different stuff, trying to get a lot of likes and followers. You know what I'm saying? And they're missing the point. We need customers. We don't need followers. So,
Yeah.
I mean, crazy, crazy stuff. I mean, guys, listen. How often do you guys meet per month?
So it will be twice a month. Um, so from this date, it'll be the next date will be the last Monday of the month, and then it'll continue, like I said, bi-weekly. So it'll be
Okay.
twice a
Okay.
month, yeah. So and the content also is being uploaded weekly. So
Okay.
you'll
Got
still
you.
get
So there's new
content in
lessons.
between the meeting time. So the goal ideally is to for you to watch the content, obviously. And what I am doing is I've pushed forward what I feel to be the things that are going to accelerate you the fastest as well. So
Okay.
although the content is scheduled and it's all important, but the things where you can make money now is definitely at the forefront and it definitely is being uploaded, as we go. And like I said, content is
I
going to be
love this.
updated regular. Um and yeah, so it's going to be everything that you need, especially if somebody's a barber student or in hair school
Hmm.
now, like you're gonna be way ahead of the game when it comes to starting in the industry. You're gonna be way ahead of the game. And like you said, from a pricing standpoint, that's insignificant. That's the what you're gonna gain from you growing your business.
People are loving your checkout page. I see all the comments down here. People are loving that. You got money falling,
Yeah,
y'all.
that's how it should be.
Okay.
We should be raining money.
And so it's funny because you keep saying that some of the newer barbers should go ahead and talk about this, and join this program. But I do think that there's a lot of information that even people that are more seasoned would really benefit from. So thank you so much for sharing. Can you hang out for just a few minutes?
Yeah.
Can you hang out? Yeah. Okay. Cool. Good stuff. So, all right, guys, make sure that you guys go ahead and follow Reese. Guys, I don't think you guys can afford not to join the program. Like, I mean,
Absolutely.
$7 for the first month, and I mean, now I know that that other price is going to be going up. That 12.99, like
Yep.
that is not per month. Like that is not permanent. Like that's only for a small group of people, just for this live. So
Yep.
you guys want to go ahead and jump on that before that price changes, okay? Guys, listen. If you got one customer, you'll more than make your money back. Like it. Come on, guys. I'm good at math. I'm
Exactly.
good at math. Okay, I was a math major. I'm very good at math. So this doesn't make sense. All right, let's go ahead. Let's shift our talk to. I want to share some things with people about done for you. Okay, done. We've talked a lot about done for you, DIY, right? Do it yourself. I want to
Yeah.
talk about done with you. Okay, so let me go ahead and share my screen here. All right, let me go ahead. Let me hit my little present mode, y'all. All right, we can see a little better here. Okay, so I want to talk about done with you when it comes to digital products. Okay, so when I say done with you, like what does that mean? All right, so if we talk about how to launch digital products, we can talk about DIY, do it yourself, and you learn how to do the work yourself. This could be a course, a webinar, an ebook, etc. It's something where you come, you attend, you pay your ticket, and it's up to you to get the work done, right? You don't really have accountability partners or anything like that, right? When you do done for you, I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory. You pay somebody and they do everything for you. You show up and you're like, hey, thanks, my project is done, right? Of course, you do have to have a lot of meetings and you have to tell the people actually what you want. So sometimes that can slow down your process if you don't really know what you want. Sometimes people are like, oh, I just want to have a digital product. And you're like, well, what is it about? But you can't, so you have to communicate. And sometimes you'll find when you do that done for you, that somebody will come back and you're like, ooh, that's not really exactly what I wanted. All right. Um, and then we've got done with you, which is a new way of getting things done that I want to share with you guys. So this, you'll work with a coach, a mentor, etc., whatever their title is, and you're going to get the work done together. Okay. This can be like a challenge, a one-on-one session, a VIP day, or some simpler type experience. So, I know when you were launching this program, you and I did a VIP day, right?
Absolutely.
And so a lot of
Yep.
people aren't familiar with that, but a VIP day is where you and I get to hang out all day together. Okay. And literally this guy was like, Season, I gotta go. But we got so much done. We put together a marketing plan. We got the landing page done. We talked about, just, what is the mindset and kind of the positioning with it. And that's what a VIP day is, right?
Yep.
And so next, I want to kind of look at this as, let me stop sharing this real quick. This is breakfast place in town. Y'all listen, I put this together at the last minute. I had an idea I want to share with y'all. So this does not go here. Oh boy, hold on real quick. We gonna fix that real quick. Listen. Okay. Boop, boop, done. Done. Okay. Easy. All right. Okay. Back to our regularly scheduled program. Okay. I want to compare these different things here. Okay. So we talk about DIY, DFY, right? Done for you, and DWI, done with you, which is the thing I'm working on a lot of those programs. Okay. So, when you talk about like the cost, right? When you do DIY, that's usually the least expensive type of a program. Okay. It takes, as you notice, it takes more time with the actual person, then it can be more expensive. So if you do done for you, that person's doing all of the work. Those are known to be the most expensive thing. That's the least of you that has to be part of it. Okay. Done with you, sometimes you can be kind of a mid tier. It doesn't have to be the most expensive. Doesn't It's definitely not the least expensive way to go about things. Okay. We talk about learnability. So basically, what I mean by this is that if you're a person who, let's say we're talking about digital products here. Let's say you're a person who wants to start creating and selling your digital products, right? So if you do it yourself, you're going to learn. Okay, you're going to learn something. Okay. However, you don't have a lot of times as much access to the instructor, the coach, the mentor, whoever it is that is helping you with this, or whoever it is that you're learning from. And that's why I say the learnability is good, because sometimes there's kind of like a distance, a space in between you and that person. Okay. Done for you, you're not learning. You're not learning a lot. Okay. I put none here, but I should say little to none. Okay. You're not really learning a lot about, if you pay somebody to do your digital products, you're not learning a lot. Okay. And let's talk about why that's a problem. Okay. For me, I always want my students to know how to do things, not because I want you to be a person that's doing everything yourself, but in the case of an emergency, just like, I remember Oprah was talking about writing your own checks, right? Imagine you having a business, you need to change one thing on a flyer, just like Rese was talking about, and you have to wait for the graphic designer. I remember one time I was like, I want to outsource a lot more of this stuff. And I remember I wanted to change something on a flyer, and I reached out to a graphic designer. They told me, yes, I can do that. It's going to take me 11 days. And I'm like, but I need this tomorrow. You know what I mean? So of course, a graphic designer, when they do it, it's going to look better, but you need to arm yourself with the tools so that you can execute and get some stuff done as a business owner. I can't have any of my people out here. Okay. Listen to me. I cannot have any of you guys out here not able to make money because you don't know how to put up your landing page. You don't know how to, put up a flyer. And I'm not saying that you should always do it, but you can't even hire people if you don't know how. You don't even know what to ask for. You don't know what's on the menu. Okay. You don't know. Half the time you've got people coming to you and you're mad about the quality of the work that they're giving you, but you don't even know what to ask for. You didn't know how to communicate with them properly to get what you want. And so that's why I think it's really important that you learn these things, okay? So when you do DIY, I said good, but I say done with you is great. Like that's the best thing is to do done with you, because when you're learning and you can get in the moment feedback from the mentor, from the coach, kind of telling you what you need. Okay, in the moment. Okay, in the moment, right there. Like, have you? And so one of you guys know my story about taking 5 years to get to six figures with my digital products. And the thing is that what happened is I had a lot of distractions. I'm like, ooh, I look at my puppy and I see how it seems like they get so distracted. They're like, ooh, puppy, ooh, bird, ooh, chipmunk, squirrel. And that's how I felt. I would see things like, oh, now you got to do text marketing. Ooh, now you got to do bots. Now you got to do, and I would be all over the place and I wouldn't get things done, or I'd be confused and I didn't have access to somebody to ask the question. So when you do done with you, you're going to learn, it's going to be in the moment, and you're going to execute because you're co-creating. You're working together to create something. So it's a game changer. Okay. Now let's talk about speed to result, because at the end of the day, it's not like everybody just is like, oh, I just like creating digital products. I like to learn about things. People want their digital product done so that they can sell it. I mean, at the end of the day, right? That's what you want, right, Rese?
Yep,
You're like, I want to
absolutely.
get this done fast. I can take
Absolutely.
a class, but you know what? I'm going to pay to go to the front of the line, do the VIP, and then that way we can get this done fast. Okay, I've learned, I know enough about the let's get it done. Okay, and so your speed to result DIY. I said subjective here because I feel like it depends on how disciplined you are. It depends on how clear your instructors' instructions are. It depends on a lot of stuff to your speed to result. Done for you. Sometimes done for you is not that fast. Okay. I'm a little Speedy Gonzalez when I do stuff. I know that. But a lot of other people, they have done for you, depending on the size of your project, they might say, oh, this is going to take 6, 8, you know, 12 weeks. This is going to take 3 months, 6 months, a year to do it. And you might say, well, gosh, I want to do it faster. And guess what? With done for you, a lot of times you don't realize that that person might not understand what you want until you get back the product. You're like, oh my gosh, I do not like this. Like, this is not what I wanted. This is not what I had in mind. But because you don't know enough about it, you didn't communicate well. So there's going to be a lot of different versions and iterations, and you got to give them feedback. They got to go fix it. And so I don't think that that's always the fastest. I know people think it is. I don't think it is. Okay. Um, Done with you is the fastest. That's the fastest way, even with the instructor, that you can give that feedback and say, hey, you know what? I don't like that. Or, you know what? I like the way this person does it right here. Oh, I see why you say that. In the moment, they can give you, the information about why they're recommending certain things. And you still ultimately get the ultimate say, but they can kind of tell you, hey, I recommend you do this. Like, you need to position yourself in this way. All of that is in the moment, done, right? There's a deadline. When you're doing done with you, there's a deadline. I've done, the 7 day. I just finished a 7 day ebook challenge with nursepreneurs. They knew, they were like, man, this is intense, but at the end of that 7 days, they knew they're going to have their ebook and it's going to be ready for sale. Okay, some of them made sales before the book was done. Okay, with pre-sales and things like that, we were able to set that up. Okay. Now, again, for the same reasons that I mentioned before, the quality of your digital product will be best when you do done with you. Okay? Because, and I think Rese, can you talk about that?
Yeah, so definitely for me, when it came to like specifically doing the done with you part on my VIP day, um, even if I first off, like you said, you're right there. So I don't have to wait on any type of turnaround time as to what I do want to change. And it allows me to reiterate or express what I'm looking for then, there, and in the moment. Even if I don't correctly know how to say it. So,
Uh-huh.
and because just like for instance, you're a lot more tech savvy than what I am. So therefore I may say, Season, I want this to look this way, and to you it may be easy, but to me, I just don't know, and I don't even know how to even express that. So for me, I think that the do it with you is definitely how you're gonna get the best quality. And like you said, like everything is great about it because it's literally right there in the moment. And there were things where I was like, I really don't like that color, or even like from a branding color, like I use a specific gold, with my brand. So therefore, we were able to adjust that instead of me worrying about like it being a yellow or something like that. So I'm getting the best quality results out of doing it with you. And also going back to understanding, that was huge for me because just like it was certain things that I realized later that I wanted to change. I didn't have to call you to change it. I was like,
Right.
man, now I really, really understand this. I had a decent understanding, but now I really, really understand how to do it. So yeah, that's why I mean I would definitely recommend that over all three ways that you
And you
normally
also
just name.
learned how to do it.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
learned how to do all this stuff. You left with, in your particular case, you wanted to get this membership launched, and you left with your landing page. You left with multiple checkout pages, the
mhm,
graphics. Like we
yeah,
rocked it out. Like, you know what I'm saying? We edited videos together.
exactly.
We did so many
Photos,
things.
testimony,
Right.
and all of
Yes, we got it together and we rocked it out. Now one thing that I do want to say about Done With You is because of the fact of the intensive nature of it, because of the fact that the instructor and the mentor is helping you reach a result in a short period of time. A lot of times that particular thing is it's more exclusive and there's less seats available, right? And so one thing that I am doing right now is that I've had a lot of people that have been coming to me. Oh, look at this face, we got to fast forward this. But I've had a lot of people that have been, they take classes, and they're saying, hey, I'm not disciplined enough, like I'm not. And that's okay. I think it's important for you to know that about yourself. And so I have a new program that I'm launching, and it's a first come first serve thing. Like I have a very limited amount of people that I'm going to be working with in it, and it's for people who need more hand holding. They need me to spoon feed them. And so within 30 days they're going to launch 4 digital products. Okay, so one of the things, the reason why I wanted to do this is that I found out this crazy statistic that said that only 15% of people finish their online courses. Okay, they paid all this money to get a result and they didn't even get it. Okay, and so that bothers me so much. And so I'm launching this program on September 1st. Now, don't focus on September 1st. And now I've got these days on here. The reason why I say that is because it's a limited number of people that I can work with, because I'm working so intensely and closely with them that I'm not going to be able to get them to the. I can't have 100 people showing up. Okay, I cannot. And so every single person that has gotten, there's an application process. You'll see the application is in the description wherever you're watching this video. But every single person that has filled out the application has hurried up and paid. Okay, not filled out. I'm sorry, not filled out the application. That got their application accepted has paid, because just because you got your application accepted, we've done the interview, and I said, okay, I think you're going to be a good fit for this program. You have to pay, or else your spot is not guaranteed. So I think a lot of people keep saying, oh, you're launching September 1st. Well, let me go ahead and don't wait. Okay, you don't want to wait because there are a limited number of seats. Like I am not going to be able to help, I'm saying 100 people get to this result in 30 days. Okay, they're not going to have the help that they need from me. And so some of the things that we're going to be doing during that time is we're going to have, like we're going to be meeting 5 days a week. It might be 15 minutes because you have a little bit of work to do after. So every single day, 5 days a week, Sunday through Thursday, I'll be meeting with them, my team and myself, right? Or we'll be meeting with them and making sure they get to the result. You're going to get Friday and Saturday off. I know a lot of people are going to be busy, and that also gives you a little bit of time for you to catch up. And we're going to check in. We're going to have milestone check-ins and make sure, did you get here? Did you get it done? Okay. We're going to be making sure that people are actually getting the work done. Okay. Because that's a problem. Sometimes people need that. Okay. Sometimes people really need, those check-ins. They need somebody tapping them on the shoulder. Where is this? What's going on? Because that 30 days, I want you walking into it October with your 4 digital products. Because guys, listen, like everybody keeps trying to wait till the last minute and throw some stuff up there looking raggedy for Black Friday. We're not doing that. We're not, guys, come
at
on now.
all. At
Hashtag, we're not doing that. Go ahead and
all.
drop that in the comments, okay? Because the thing is that, I'm saying, we got to run like a business. Okay, we got to run like a business. We have to be intentional. And guess what, guys? Once you learn this, you've got 4 digital products. It's a process that's very repeatable. It's going to be easy for you to keep executing. I've got tons of templates and things to help you plug in your topic, your information to get it done. Okay. We're going to create, we're going to be talking about marketing and how do we position these things and package them up in different ways for sales. Okay. So we can have the sales done and ready and on autopilot. Okay. We can schedule these things to go out on autopilot. Okay. Um, One last thing that I want to mention here about this program as well is that this is something that you've got this deadline, okay, and it's repeatable. You can do it over and over and over. And once you understand a process, now you're able to hire other people to help execute because what I'm saying. People are a lot of times people are hiring people and they don't even know the thing that they want. Like, let's say they're like, oh, the social barber said that I need to have a virtual assistant. So I'm going to go ahead and get me a virtual assistant, but they don't know what the virtual assistant can do for them. Okay.
And I can attest to
So it's
that as
kind of
well.
crazy. Yeah.
And that's another good thing about the program, though. I mean, the do it with you though, because we mapped out what exactly I need to do versus
Yes.
what a virtual assistant would do. And it gave a lot of clarity on that because there's a lot of things that you can't, even though we think we're super busy a lot of times, which a lot of us are, but it gives you clarity. Okay, I can get this done, but I need assistance with this, this, and this, and it's straightforward, so you know exactly what they're going to get done. So,
That's right. That's right. We got to get it done. All
yep.
right. So, Rese, I want to thank you so much for hanging out with me today on Beauty Bank. Guys, did you enjoy this? Go ahead and drop it in the comments and make sure you follow Rese Olympus Cuts on all platforms. Thank you so much. And I'm going to make sure your links and everything are in this description as well so people can join. And is this special just for us?
It
Just for
is.
us, it's a
It
limited time
is.
special. Guys, listen. Okay, do not walk, run over there. If you guys, because especially right now, we're going into the busy holiday season. People need this information so they can maximize on it.
Exactly.
All right. Well, thank you
Exactly.
so much, guys. And guys, I want to go ahead and remind you this is Beauty to Bank, the #1 place on the web where beauty professionals learn how to make money without standing behind the chair. I am your host each and every Monday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I want to inspire, motivate you. I want to help you get to the next level with your digital products. Okay. Thank you guys for joining.